Hi guys, welcome to Our World Outdoors. I'm Tony, and today we're going to be reviewing the apeman a80 action camera. First off, I want to say that no one's paying me for this review. I bought this with my own money to actually use for some action sequences, underwater stuff, outdoor stuff in the rain. Let's just start off by the price, since that's always the biggest question. These can be had for about $80 for the apeman a80. You have to be careful on eBay. They have an a70 out that they also call the apeman 4K, which is also what this is called the 4K. Very small differences between the two. One being that this one has a basic image stabilization, so to take some of the shake out of it. If you go on Amazon, you can get the apeman a80, a dual port charger, 2 extra batteries in the cord for it. This by itself is $14. All this together on Amazon is just over $80 with free shipping. So for the money, it's much better to go do this deal, because this comes with 2 batteries. But to buy this alone is just around $80 on Amazon, and I think $85 on eBay. But you can buy all this for basically $80 if you buy it as a package. So let's go ahead and get started here. So it comes in this case, and when you open it up, first thing you're going to see is comes with all kinds of tripod mounts. That's a hinge mount, bicycle handlebar mount, clip or hat mount, whatever you want to call it, GoPro swivel adapter, just various hinge adapters of various kinds. And here you have another battery. Up here you got the free case holder for when you want to put it on a tripod. It also has a top mount in case you're going to do a separate light. You got some strapping, some zip ties, the vented clear case so you can get sound through it, a book, a wiping cloth, that's a metal strap, and then a charging cord. Now, here you have it enclosed in its waterproof case. It has buttons on top and on the side. Now, when you want to take it out, this is important. It's got an arrow here. You push it over and then pull up. This is a locking top. This is not like the cheaper ones where they just pop up. So you can break it if you're not unlocking it. So we open that up. And there's your camera. Tiny, huh? This is a GoPro knockoff. Set that down. Put that back in there. Okay, let's take a closer look here. So this is not a touchscreen. That's important. A lot of these cameras now, once you get over about 100, 125, they come with touchscreens, or they have less features and they're a touchscreen. So it does have the fish eye lens. Now it quotes out at 150 on the view. It's actually 110, which is still huge. So you got the power button, and then you come on the sides, you got your up and down buttons. Up on top, you've got your start button or your select button for start video or select when you're going through the system. On this side, you have your micro USB, and then you have two different plug-ins, whether you need power from mini USB or charging from the Android style. Then under here you have your battery lock and battery door. But yeah, up and down. Top's where you have your power to start it, and then the front is your power. So let's turn it on here. Okay, so when you want to get into any of your menus, you press your power button again, and it'll take you from video to picture mode. Then press it again, and press it again, and then you're in setups. Here you can change all your settings. It can loop, it can do time stop. I mean, just anything your normal action cameras can do, it can do. But it has the added benefit that a lot of these cheaper ones don't have, of the image stabilization, which, I mean, let's be real, it's not going to be a $500 image stabilization, but it does do alright. I do a lot of videos where we're on the trail, and I move pretty quick, and there's a lot of bounce when you're carrying a pack and moving down the trail fast. And this thing straightens it out somewhat. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's sure better than using a regular camera or my phone. So, it actually, when you start doing video, it will actually talk to you and say video started, video stopped. Which is one of the features I really love, because then you know when it's actually working. Another thing that I like about it, let's put it in this mount, is I can put it in this and put it on a handheld or a selfie stick and be able to hold it out, and with that wide angle lens you can't miss selfieing yourself. You cannot. It is impossible. Now, price point. I know that the GoPro, the latest model, I just saw it in the store, was $385. That's literally just for the camera and the charging cord and one battery. No case, no nothing. Here, you have all these attachments. Total of 4 batteries, a dual charger, and everything you see here, and I have basically $80 in it. I mean, you can't beat that. Now, they call this a 4K camera. It's important to understand that any of these cheaper, what they call 4K action cameras, are actually 2K cameras, and they upscale to 4K. Now, this thing has plenty of settings if you want to do in more regular HD stuff, like if you want 720 at 30 frames per minute, if you want 720 at 60 frames, if you want 1080 at 30 frames per second or 60, whatever you want, all the way up to 2K, it'll do for real. Once you get up to 4K, it stretches out the 30 per second from 2K to 4K. So it's a conversion. It's still real nice. I don't generally run it at that high a level. I don't need to. But, you know, they sell it as a 4K, and yes, it stretches it out to make it 4K. Is it 4K? Well, no. But, I mean, you put it next to something 4K, and the video quality is not that much different. I mean, you're splitting hairs at that point, especially with the price point it comes in at. So we have taken this thing on quite a few trips. The latest two videos, one at Conkle's Hollow, which is the Gorge Trail, and then out at Old Man's Caves, the Whispering Caves / Hemlock Bridge Trail. All the scenes you see where there's music playing is this. And I didn't use this feature when I did those videos because I just actually realized I had it. But you can set this to a mute function. So when I'm using it like I did, where I was just going to overlay music and, you know, the scenery and then put my own music in, you can mute so that anybody that's talking around you and stuff is knocked out. So you don't have to do it in editing, which I think is nice. Now, downfalls. Other than the 4K conversion stuff, it can get washed out in super, super bright sunlight, just like any camera can. But where it doesn't do real great is when you get into real dark corners. Now, I had it where I was walking through some caves that had some light coming in, and it did okay. But if you get it out in the evening when it's actually like getting dark, it really has a hard time, you know, keeping it, adjusting itself light enough, the brightness high enough to be able to make things out and make them look good. Most action cameras have that problem, hence why there's the screw on top to put a light there. They kind of were forward thinking on that. They knew what was coming. And you can get the battery powered light kits for these for like $10. So if you really want to be doing some stuff at night, that would be my thing. Now, I don't care how protected. You can keep it in this case all the time, this waterproof case, and whatever you want. But anybody who owns a GoPro, unless they are like crazy careful, these are action cameras. They're made to be taken into places that are less than good to take a regular camera. So the chances of you busting one of these is high. It's really high. So I can't see spending $300 or $400 on a GoPro and then having to buy all these accessories when I can go buy this and still be completely satisfied with the footage I'm getting. Because if I go out on a trip and say it falls in the snow and I don't have it in the case, well, I lost $80. Suck it up, go buy another one. Now, there are cheaper models out there, especially by apeman, and they're not bad, especially if you're going to have something stationary, like have them on a tripod. Don't be afraid of the cheaper version, especially of this brand, because I've seen nothing but great reviews from every series they've put out, all the way back to like the A50s. But now this A80 is kind of a game changer because it does have a lot of features. It's got a real nice loop. It can be set up through Wi-Fi to be controlled with an app. So basically I could sit back and have this on a tripod and use the app to start filming and stop filming, and that gives me the ability in editing not to have to cut where I'm going and turn the camera on and off out. And if you're doing a multiple shot video, that's a lot of editing. So that's a nice feature. It also has the ability to have motion sense, so you could actually set this up as a motion camera to take pictures. You know, you could stick it up in the corner of your porch where no one can see it, and it could take pictures if you're worried about somebody stealing packages off your porch or something. I mean, it has so many uses, I couldn't sit here and go through all of them. It's a well-rounded product for the price, and I've had it on enough trips now and put it through enough of the ringer to know that it is a good product for the money. I mean, you get what you pay for. At $80, you have to understand what you're getting. And you also have to understand what an action camera is. They have very wide lens capability, but when you stretch an image through a lens wide, some things are going to naturally look distorted. And you'll see that in the video clip I'm going to put in, but it'll also give you an idea how it functions. But I'll insert a video in this after we're done here, and you guys can kind of see for yourself. Now this will be with image stabilization turned on, but understand the footage is going to be a little shaky as it's trying to adapt because I am moving down this trail bouncing. So you got to take it as what it is, because if I had any camera in my hand, it would be shaky. And I can tell you from doing videos with my phone before, this is night and day. Having that image stabilization on is night and day. Now, will it compare up to trying to use like a brand new Samsung phone? No, their image stabilization's better because it's a more expensive phone. But this is what I consider something that if I have it out and I'm in the middle of a rainstorm and I lose it because it falls off, it gets smashed, it gets soaked, whatever, then I won't have to cry about it. Not to mention, with all the stuff that it comes with, I mean, you're winning no matter what. Because you have all this gear, and 90% of this gear will convert to a GoPro. But it'll convert to pretty much any action camera on the market because they're all pretty much clones of each other. They stay within a pretty much straightforward design and a straightforward size factor. That way all the equipment does cross. And the padded case is not a bad thing. I can throw that in my backpack when we go out the trails or go camping or go to the beach. And it is actually really nice. Now there is a setup in here. I think it's that. I'm not sure. Anyways, it can be hooked to a drone, depending upon what mount you have on the bottom. But it also has the straps, so you can strap it to one of the legs if you don't have any mounting hardware on it. So, and it will roll onto a GoPro drone mount too. So, you know, this is the apeman A80. Kind of my little review, my little take on it. I've kind of found it to be, after lots and lots of research, the one that I decided to go with, you know, for most of my outdoor videos. And I'll put the clip up here so you guys can kind of see what it does and in my environment and what I use it for. But I appreciate your time, and I'm Tony with Our World Outdoors, and please like, share, and subscribe, and check out some of our other videos. Thank you.